The time is 7:31 right here from 94.5 Urban Radio Enugu. At the headline for some of the breaking stories and the world of sports. 3 African players make Ballon d'Or top 30 final ranking. Manchester United agrees to €85 million with Red Bull Leipzig to sign Benjamin Sesko. Barcelona strips Marc-Andre ter Stegen of the club captaincy. More of these in the news. I am Banky O. Welcome to Urban Sport on 94.5 Urban Radio. Only 3 African players were included in this year's Ballon d'Or Top 30 final ranking, with the award ceremony to be held at the Théâtre du Châtelet in Paris on the 22nd of September. The players are Egypt's Mohamed Salah, Morocco's Achraf Hakimi, and Guinea's Sekou Guirassy. The 3 players were impressive for their various clubs over the past 1 year. Salah led Liverpool to win the Premier League title and also finished as the top scorer in the English top flight league. On his part, Hakimi led Paris Saint-Germain to win the UEFA Champions League, the French Ligue 1 and the French Cup last season, while Guirassy was brilliant for Dortmund in both their Champions League and FIFA Club World Cup campaigns, where he scored against Madrid in the knockout stages. Paris Saint-Germain forward Ousmane Dembélé is 28, is leading contender for the prize following his dazzling campaign for Luis Enrique's side, which resulted in Champions League glory in Munich. Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie and head coach of the Super Falcons Justin Madugu were nominated for Ballon d'Or award ahead of the 2025 edition in Paris next month. Chiamaka Nnadozie and Madugu were the only Nigerians included in the nomination, which was published today. Chiamaka was nominated for the 2025 Women's Yachine Trophy. The 24-year-old Brighton star will battle the likes of Anne Kattenberger, Kata Cole, Annan Ampton, and Daphne Van Densela for the award. Madugu, meanwhile, was nominated for Women's Coach of the Year after led the Super Falcons to their 10th Women's African Cup of Nations WAFCON in July. It will battle Sonia Bonpastor, Otto Helias, Rennie Slagers, and Serena Wigman for the award. For the Men's Club World Cup nomination, we have Barcelona, Botafogo, Chelsea, Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain. For the Johan Cruyff Trophy nominees, which is awarded to the best male coach, whether at the club or national level, we have Antonio Conte of Napoli, Luis Enrique of PSG, Hansi Flick of Barcelona, Enzo Maresca of Chelsea, and Arne Slot of Liverpool. For men's Yachine Trophy nominees, the Yachine Trophy is awarded to the best male goalkeeper. We have Emiliano Martinez of Aston Villa and Argentina, Alisson Becker of Liverpool and Brazil, Yacine Bono of Al Hilal and Morocco, Lucas Chavelli of Lille and France, Thibaut Courtois of Real Madrid and Belgium, Gianluigi Donnarumma of PSG and Italy, Jan Oblak of Atletico Madrid and Slovenia, David Raya of Arsenal and Spain, Matt Sells of Nottingham Forest and Belgium, Jan Sommer of Inter Milan and Switzerland. For the men's Copa Trophy nominees, we have a Copa Trophy awarded to the best male player under the age of 21, Pau Cubarsí of Barcelona and Spain, Ayoub Boadi of Lille and France, Desiree Doué of PSG and France, Estavio of Chelsea and Brazil, Dean Huysen of Real Madrid and Spain, Myers Lewis Kelly of Arsenal and England, Rodrigo Moura of Porto and Portugal, João Neves of PSG and Portugal, Lamine Yamal of Barcelona and Spain, and Kenan Yildiz of Juventus and Turkey. Al Hilal have reached an agreement to sign Liverpool striker Darwin Núñez for €53 million and equivalent to £46.3 million. Núñez is now expected to have a medical before his move to the Saudi Pro League. The 26-year-old Uruguay forward joined in June 2022 from Portuguese side Benfica for an initial fee of £64 million. Nunez has scored 40 goals in 143 appearances, but only started 8 Premier League games during Liverpool's title-winning campaign last season. Selling Nunez will financially boost the Reds' chances of signing Newcastle striker Alexandra Isak in this transfer window. The Magpies turned down an opening offer of £110 million from Liverpool last week as they valued the 25-year-old Sweden forward at about £150 million. Premier League giant Manchester United have agreed to award £73.7 million with Red Bull Leipzig to sign Benjamin Sesko. The agreement, which includes a guaranteed payment of £66.3 million with the remainder in add-ons. Sesko will now complete the formalities, including undergoing a medical on Friday before finalising his move to Old Trafford. The 22-year-old Slovenian forward, he was also wanted by Newcastle, has scored 39 goals in 87 appearances for German side. Leipzig United have already signed forward Matthias Cunha from Wolverhampton Wanderers and Brian Mbeumo this summer for a combined fee of around £130 million. Those payments have been arranged in a favourable way to allow United to keep spending, while the entirety of Marcus Rashford's £325,000 per week salary has been covered by his loan move to Barcelona. United also received £5 million from Chelsea after the Blues pulled out of a deal to sign Jadon Sancho. United won the further £50 million for Argentine winger Alejandro Garnacho, who is attracting interest from Chelsea and has been told he can leave Old Trafford this summer. The main striker from last season, Rasmus Højlund, has been made available for sale for £40 million after scoring just 14 Premier League goals in 2 seasons. Ghanaian international Thomas Partey has joined La Liga club Villarreal following his release from Arsenal. The 32-year-old who signed for Arsenal in a £45 million deal from Atletico Madrid in 2020 left the Gunners when his contract expired at the end of June. 4 days later, Partey was charged with 5 counts of rape against 2 women and a charge of sexual assault against a third woman. Partey, who denies the charges, was granted conditional bail on Tuesday at the Westminster Magistrate Court. Under the condition of the bail, Partey must not contact any of the 3 women and must notify police of any permanent changes of address or international travel. In a statement, Villarreal said the club is aware that the player is currently involved in legal proceedings in England. The player firmly maintains his innocence and denies all charges against him. West Ham United have agreed a fee of about £20 million with Leicester for goalkeeper Mads Amundsen. Talks had been ongoing between the 2 clubs over the Denmark international and personal terms are not expected to be an issue, with the 25-year-old seen as a good fit for Graham Potter's style. A number of other Premier League and European clubs were interested in Amundsen, who impressed last season despite the Foxes' relegation from the Premier League, but the Hammers were always in pole position to sign him. The Hammers, who saw Lukas Fabianski leave at the end of last season, have Kasper Akagren, who worked with Amundsen at Brøndby as the goalkeeping coach. They have also been interested in Botafogo goalkeeper John Victor. Burnley have signed Slovakia goalkeeper Martin Dubravka from Newcastle United on a 1-year contract for an undisclosed fee. The 36-year-old initially joined the Magpies on loan from Sparta Prague in January 2018 and kept 51 clean sheets in 179 appearances in all competitions during his 7.5 years at the St James Park. He played a key role in Newcastle's Carabao Cup win last season, keeping 3 clean sheets, including in each leg of the semi-final victory over the Gunners. Burnley have been looking to replace James Trafford, a 22-year-old who rejoined Manchester City in July in a deal which the Clarets say is a new record for a British goalkeeper. And in Spain, Barcelona have stripped keeper Marc-Andre ter Stegen of the club captaincy following disciplinary proceedings against the German international. The 33-year-old last played when he turned out for his country in June, underwent a back operation at the end of July. His dispute with Barcelona arises from his unwillingness to allow them to share his medical data with La Liga, which could allow the club to register new players depending on his length of absence. Ter Stegen recently published a post on social media saying he would be out for 3 months, whereas La Liga rules require a player to remain sidelined for at least 4 months to be considered a long-term absentee. The La Liga champions' summer signing have included the arrival of keeper Joan Garcia from Espanyol and England striker Marcus Rashford on loan from Manchester United. Tottenham midfielder James Maddison has suffered an anterior cruciate ligament injury and is expected to miss the majority of the forthcoming season. Sources have revealed that Maddison is said to have surgery and will become a long-term absentee as he starts his recovery program. The 28-year-old suffered the injury in the preseason draw against Newcastle in South Korea last weekend. Manager Thomas Frank confirmed after the match that Maddison had injured the same knee that ruled him out of the Europa League final victory against Manchester United in May. Since returning from Asia on Monday, Maddison has undergone a test in recent days to ascertain the severity of the injury. Initial fears were that Maddison had suffered a cruciate ligament injury, and those concerns have now been realized. Maddison, a 2023 signing from Leicester City, scored 12 goals in 45 appearances for Spurs last season. He has 7 England caps, the most recent of which came in 2024. West Ham United have confirmed Mikel Antonio will not be signing a new deal as a first-team player for the club, but negotiations continue over a future role. The 35-year-old did not make another appearance for West Ham United at senior level following the horrific car crash in December that nearly cost him his life. Hammers boss Graham Porter had said in Atlanta last week that Antonio was not likely to be involved in his squad this season. He made 323 appearances over 10 years at the club, scoring 83 goals and started the 2023 Conference League final when West Ham United ended their 43-year wait for a trophy. Antonio did not make 3 appearances for Jamaica. Antonio did make 3 appearances for Jamaica at the CONCACAF Gold Cup this summer and also turned out for West Ham United under-21s in a preseason game at Ballon Wood last month. It is understood that the continuing discussion with Antonio could potentially lead to a coaching and mentoring role within West Ham's academy. And in tennis, teenager Victoria Mboko will face Naomi Osaka in the final of the Canadian Open after defying the odds to upset former Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina. The 18-year-old Canadian, ranked 85th in the world, lost the first set and saved a match point in the second before going on to seal a 1-6, 7-5, 7-6 victory in Montreal. Mboko, a wild card entry for the tournament, will face former world number 1 Osaka on Thursday in her first WTA 1000 final. That's all we have in the news. Talking point next. Only three African players were included in this year's Ballon d'Or nomination for the top final, and of course, is Mohamed Salah of the Premier League top scorer and top Premier League assist last season. We also have Achraf Hakimi, the inevitable, looking at his performance from the Champions League to the FIFA Club World Cup, which they couldn't win at PSG, to winning the French League and also winning the French Cup, scoring a lot of goals for PSG last season. That's Achraf Hakimi, a strong contender for African Footballer of the Year. And then there is Guirassy, who scored a lot of goals for Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League last season, and also scored a lot of goals in the league, especially their last 10 runs to be able to make Champions League position last season. That's Guirassy of Guinea. He's got 21 goals and 2 assists in 30 Bundesliga games last season, and of course in the Champions League, top scorer in the Champions League with 13 goals and 4 assists in 14 matches. 3 players coming from Africa, and of course the likes of Victor Osimhen couldn't make, Ademola Lookman couldn't make. We don't have a Nigerian in the top 30 this time around, as against the last 2 occasions when we had Ademola Lookman, who came 14th position last time, and of course the season when Victor Osimhen dominated Napoli and Italian football, it was number 8 in the world. All right, looking at the favorite for the Ballon d'Or this time around, obviously Ousmane Dembele of PSG, and PSG also presented at 9 players nominated for the Ballon d'Or this time around. The PSG 9, because of how they conquered Europe, but they came short of conquering the world when they lost to Chelsea in the final of the FIFA Club World Cup. They were so terrible on that particular night. But apart from that, Luis Enrique's side, they've done marvelously well last season. Second half of last season, they turned the tide around, and they had special players making the Ballon d'Or list. All right, we also have Lamine Yamal of Barcelona, and of course, you have to mention Rafinha, a strong contender alongside Ousmane Dembele. We have Rafinha, we have Lamine Yamal, and we also have Mohamed Salah. So Guirassy, and not going to be, I'm not sure, it's not going to make top 5 definitely, but we should be having Mohamed Salah in the top 5, and of course Achraf Hakimi with that kind of performance they put in as a defender for PSG last season. Right, for other players, the reigning Ballon d'Or winner Rodri was not listed because he didn't play at all last season for Manchester City, but then Erling Haaland is going to represent Manchester City alongside the likes of Declan Rice, and Victor Gyökeres, new acquisition of the Gunners, was also listed in the top 30 ranking for the Ballon d'Or this season. Virgil van Dijk, Alexis McAllister, and Mohamed Salah also listed to represent the Premier League, and the only player that came through from Chelsea is Cole Palmer. Outstanding performance from him from the FIFA Club World Cup. So that's it for the Ballon d'Or this time around. Looking at some other players, likes of Jude Bellingham is a part of the team. The list, the top 30, we have Desire Doué, who is also nominated for the Young Player of the Year in the Ballon d'Or rankings. We have him listed for the Yachine Trophy, which is for players not Yachine Trophy, listed for the Copa Trophy, which is for players under the age of 21. We also have Paul Kubasi in that ranking. All right, for the Ballon d'Or, we have Harry Kane of Bayern Munich, and of England also, Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, Robert Lewandowski, Lautaro Martinez of Inter Milan, Kylian Mbappe of Real Madrid and France, Scott McTominay, the best player in Italy last season, Manchester United rejects that went to Napoli for under 30 million pounds, became the best player and won the league for Napoli, scoring 12 goals for them, was also listed. Nuno Mendes, João Neves, Mikel Olise, moving from Crystal Palace to go and play football with Bayern Munich, was also listed in the top 30. We have Pedri, we have Fabian Ruiz, Virgil van Dijk, Vinicius Junior. I'm not sure it's going to make top 3 this time around. We have Vitinha, Florian Wirtz, who moved from Bayer Leverkusen to Liverpool, and of course ever-present Jude Bellingham. All right, that's the top list for the Ballon d'Or this time around. Where is it going to be? What is going to happen eventually? That is going to be decided on the 22nd of September, is when we are going to have the Ballon d'Or nominations. That's when we are going to have the Ballon d'Or ceremony. That's in France, in Paris, on the 22nd of September. That's it for the Ballon d'Or nominations. All right, for Nigeria, we were not totally ignored for the Ballon d'Or. Maybe not for the guys, but then two important positions also for Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie. Yes, she was nominated for the Ballon d'Or this time around, and of course, Justin Madugu just won the 10th WAFCON title for the Super Falcons. Was nominated Chiamaka Nnadozie and Justin Madugu representing Nigeria on the Ballon d'Or list this time around. For Chiamaka, she was nominated for the women's Yachine trophies for goalkeepers and the keepers in a category. We have a Catacol and an Ampton of England. We have Daphne Van Domsela. We have Catherine Berger. Yes, on that list. She's moved from Paris FC after bringing them to the Champions League after some heroic performance in France. She's moved to Brighton to play football. That's a 24-year-old Nigerian goalkeeper, Chiamaka Nnadozie. And of course, Justin Madugu is among some top coaches when it comes to female football. He was also nominated for Women's Coach of the Year after he led the Super Falcons to glory. He will battle between Sonia Bonpastor of Chelsea. Otto Helios is also there. We have Ryan Slager, who won the Champions League for Arsenal, and Serena Wigman, who just won back-to-back title for England. All right, celebrations all the way for Nigeria. We were not totally ignored, but for the guys, they need to put in more work next time. 09160005945. Let your calls come right now. Let's talk about the Ballon d'Or. Who you think should have been included that was omitted. And don't forget, this was more of the performance in the Champions League and also in the Premier League. 09160005945. 09160004945. Good evening to you. Yes, Odaze, how are you? Odaze, you're far away from your phone, please. Odaze, you're far away from your phone. Hello? Yeah, Odaze? Go ahead, yeah. Chiamaka. The goalkeeper for Chelsea. Robert Sanchez, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, that's it. Yes, it's with Real Madrid. He was nominated too for the best keeper. Yeah. Thank you, that's it. Thank you very much. All right. All right. 0916. Yes, go ahead. Arrange it. Go ahead. Mm. Part of the top 30, yeah? I get it. I get it. Mm. There was no offer, bro. There was no offer. No single bid for Victor Osimhen. So it's not a. I was surprised that I went there. There was no bid. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. We all see what you guys are doing. You guys did not do point and key. Sorry. Don't say you are doing point and key. Thank you, Arinze. Thank you very much. 0916005945. And all right, for the Ballon d'Or this time around, if you look at the players selected for the Ballon d'Or, you notice that the league performance and also the Champions League played a major role. The FIFA Club World Cup was not completely ignored, but so you can say it was ignored because you look at the number. If you want to talk about star players at the FIFA Club World Cup, you have to have a number of Chelsea fans, Chelsea players on that list, and it's just Cole Palmer that we have there. So that's it. It's majorly the Champions League performance and the league performance, and maybe a major title, a major competition that happened, like the Euros for the women and the African Cup of Nations for the women, that also happened in the selection process. All right, so don't forget, 9 players came through for PSG. 0916005945. Good evening to you. Yes, your name and location. Okay, so go ahead. Shesko, they've agreed. Shesko is having a medical tomorrow. What are you telling me? Shesko is having a medical tomorrow. Tomorrow should be Friday, yeah? Yes, he's having a medical tomorrow. Shesko done deal for Manchester United. Yeah. Good evening to you. How far now? How are you? Alright, go ahead. Yeah, they were nominated. My God. Yeah, very enthusiastic. Yes, no doubt about that. They did not bid for him in England, sir. If there was mention a single amount that they bidded for Shimen. Yes, I love you. Come on, be going. You can walk away with your back. 0916005945. 30 seconds, just 30 seconds. Good evening to you. Yes, you have 30 seconds. All right. It's not 30 something million, sir. Don't be giving us fake news. It's 73.7 million pounds. 30 something goes, 2 titles won, it should be there. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I know. All right, I think Victor should also be there with his impact in Turkey, except Turkey is not considered in the Champions League at all or in the league. But don't forget, Turkey is not part of the